Welcome to Odisha State Open University. In this video lecture, we are going to learn about lights and cameras. So whenever we visualize a film, we come through the words like lights, camera and actions. In the same way, when we have created the world in 3D, we will be applying lights to it to create natural effects, as well as we will create cameras and add camera movement as animation to it. In this video lecture, we are going to learn about lights and camera in Blender. We will learn the following subject. First, we will learn about 3-point lighting using the Omni light. We will learn about spotlight. We will learn about different kinds of light like sun, hemi and area. Then we will learn about camera and its setting. We will learn about creating an empty point tracking to a camera. And finally, we will learn about rendering the scene. First, we will try to understand the 3D point lighting of Blender before starting the practical. So what is 3-point lighting? 3-point lighting consists of 3 lights. One is called your key light, second is called your fill light, and third is called your backlight. What is key light? Key light is the main light which falls on the subject. Suppose we are having this character from this angle and we have put the key light over here with a high strength. Next, we have put a fill light whose strength is little bit lower than the key light. Then we are having the backlight which exposes the back side of the subject. So when we want to create a lighting system in Blender, we have to use this 3-point lighting techniques. So let us start this technique using Blender. We will start the 3-point lighting system in Blender now. First, we have to set up the scene. We have a by default box on the scene. I go to create, click on plane, I create a plane, press S to scale, I scale the plane like this. So then I place the object over here, select the bottom, scale again. Okay. So now here I have set up my scene. See, by default you are having one light in the scene of Blender by default. This is the light which you have by default. So click on this light. You can go to the properties of the light also. You are having the properties of the light over here. So click here. You can see the properties of light. So now I place this light over here like this. So then we will create 3 copies of the light. Press Shift D and move it. You can choose the axis. Suppose I press X. This is X axis. If I press it is Y axis. I place it over here. My second light I have placed over here. Then I again press Shift D. I place one of my light here like this. So then move and rotate it in the angle where you want to view it. Suppose this. I place it somewhere again over here like this. I place it somewhere over here. So now it depends upon you which light you want to choose as the key light, which light you want to choose as the fill light, and which light as your backlight. Suppose I am viewing from this area, I change this to render. So this is the scene which I am able to watch here. Change it to solid mode. I choose this lamp, increase this energy to 2. Okay. Choose this light, let this energy be 1. Choose the backlight, I give the energy of 0.5, enter. Then I choose my key light which is having the energy of 2. I have the ray shadow on here. So I will choose my other lights and I will off the shadow. No shadow. I choose this light. No shadow. Now render it. You can go to render and render like this. Okay. So you can see the brighter side. You can see the darker side as well as you can see the back side of the lighting. So you have to do lots of experiments to get better output. So this is called your 3-point lighting system. Now we will learn about the spotlight. What is a spotlight? So let us create a spotlight. Go to create, place somewhere, right click over here. Now I go to the bottom and I click on spot. So you can see a spotlight has been created. Move the spotlight over here, move it to a height like this, move it somewhere here like. You have to move and place it exactly in the center of the object. Suppose I place it over here. Now click on render. You can see a round circle over here which acts as your spotlight. Press escape. You can go to the properties of light over here, click here. Under the spot you have lots of properties, like you are having a buffer shadow. Buffer shadow is a smooth shadow, whereas ray shadow is a sharp shadow. As we already have shadow in our key light, so we are not using the ray shadow here, we are just using a buffer shadow. Next, what we can do, go to the bottom of it. There are some settings related to this lights, like you are having the softs, you are having the size, you are having the clip, blend, etc. So you can change all the properties and you can view the effect of the light. I can increase or decrease this distance. I am using an inverse square. You can use any of the methods. You can use an inverse linear. You can increase or decrease the energy also, like this. So I change the fall off to this. I choose the light. So then we have the blend here. We can increase or decrease the blend. Okay, uh, like this. Now if I render the scene, you can see a smooth merge of the light which is blending over here, like this. So these are the settings which we can give to a spotlight. Spotlights remembers of a disco light. You may be seeing in a disco, or in films you might be seeing discos where a particular light highlights on a particular person. So if you want to highlight something particularly, then you can use the spotlight. Now we will learn about the other lights like sun, hemi and area. So now I have given a spotlight here. So you are having an advantage over here that you can change a single light to another light. So now what I do, I just select this light and change the spot to sun. So now this becomes my sunlight. Go to render, click on render. This is the effect of your sunlight. I on the sky, then I render. This is the effect of your skylight. There are lots of settings related with it. You can select the settings, like I on the shadow here. You can see the shadow of the light here. Press escape. I can use the rotate tool and rotate the angle of my sun. I rotate the angle of my sun in this direction. Now I press render again. Now you can see the shadow of my angle changes. So what is happening is, I already have a key light here which is having a shadow. I turn off the shadow, then I render again. So now you are having the shadow of the sun. So this is about your sunlight. Next we are having our hemi. Click on hemi, you get a light somewhat like this, render it. Okay, so these are experimental things. You have to click one by one and see the effect. Then we are having the area light. Click on area light, now render it. You get an effect like this. So there are different kinds of lights. You have to click on the light and experiment with the options and render it as many times as you change the options to see the effect. We will learn how to create a camera in Blender. First we go to create. We click on camera. Click on camera. We have our camera over here. We can move and place the camera here like this. After placing the camera, if I want to view my camera view, I split my screen into two parts like this. I click over here and I press 0 in my num keypad. I have my camera view here. I go here, click and move the camera to adjust the view of my object like this. I move it little bit farther like this. I am placing my camera here, and in this place I am able to see my final view. Here you can see I am placing difficulties placing the angle of my camera. So what I do here, I click somewhere over the center point, right click over here, go to create, click on empty. I have created an empty pointer over here. I move and place the pointer to the middle of the subject. I go over here and change it to wireframe. I move the pointer over here. Now I select the camera, hold the shift and click on the point, press Ctrl T, then click on track to constraint like this. So now press A and click outside. So click on the camera, move the camera. You can see my point is fixed and I can move the pointer or my camera wherever I want. The main point of the subject is fixed. This is the process how to place a perfect camera. So to conclude, in this video lecture we have learnt about lights and cameras. We have placed 3-point lighting, we have placed our cameras, and we have created all the target points for creating cameras.